Good evening, and welcome to We the People, brought to you by the League of Women Voters of Minneapolis. My name is Joan Higginbotham, and I'll be your host for this evening's program. Well, this is our annual treat for all of our viewers. Tonight we're previewing the Fringe Festival. It's something we started doing a few years ago and had so much fun that we've continued it for, I think, 5 or 6 years now. Tonight, you're going to have a chance to preview 3 of the acts that you'll see at this year's Fringe Festival. But before we see them, let's meet the Executive Director of the Fringe Festival, Robin Gillette. Welcome again, Robin.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Good to have you back. So, Fringe Festival, for people who don't know, tell us a little bit what it is.
It is an 11-day explosion of performance, is the fastest way to say it. It's 176 different shows. They're all an hour long, so it's all very short shows. And it's a combination of comedy and drama and improv theater and musical theater and shows for kids and shows very much not for kids.
So, when are the dates?
August 1st to the 11th.
And does each show perform more than one time?
Yep, every show performs 5 times at varying times over the 11 days.
Okay, so you get 5 chances to see everything then. And it's at venues throughout the city?
Yep, we're at 16 different venues all around Minneapolis.
So you can choose to go to different places the same night. Mm-hmm. You can buy a packet of tickets that are like for the whole, you can go to as many shows as you can squeeze in.
Exactly, and the way it's set up is every show is an hour, and then there's a half hour between shows. So you can see a show for an hour, and you have a half an hour to hang out with people in the lobby or get to the next theater and see your next show.
Now I know they said, I looked at the schedule and it says weekdays it's like 5:30, 7, 8:30, and 10 p.m.
Right.
So in other words, I could go at 5 o'clock and I could watch a show until 6, and then I could either stay there or go someplace else.
Yep. So during the week you can see 4 shows in a night. Then on the weekends we add performances at 1 and 2:30 and 4.
So in the afternoon.
So there's a possibility of having a 7-show run if you want it.
Wow,
on your weekends.
Really, really ambitious.
Yes.
Well, now we're going to have, as I said, 3 performances tonight. And the first one is called Hello Stranger, and it's by the Newton Theater. Deborah Berger and Blake Thomas are the actors, and I'll read their description so you'll know what you're going to see. It's called, it says, a woman asks an audience to look into her heart, metaphorically. She tells of dinosaurs in ancient Greece, absurdly. She asks them to exchange souls, literally. And after the show, they meet again as friends. And I've been told that they are going to sing the dinosaur song for us.
When I was 10, I saw a film that sent trembles through my heart. A lovely film, a clever film, a film called Jurassic Park. And as I watched those dinosaurs eating all those screaming men, I knew my life, my very soul, would not be the same again. I bought the dolls, I read the books, my eyes filling with glee. My only thought, the study of sweet paleontology. When bedtime came for other kids, it was cause to scream and cry. But I would gladly rest my head without even a lullaby. Because I dreamed of dinosaurs all dancing in my head. I dreamed that I'd discover them and make them all my friends. And then I took to reading books on dinosaur genera, and quickly found that all their names were hard to remember. But undeterred, I ventured out on junior excavations, just to find you had to go in porta potty stations. While fending off mosquitoes from the Mesozoic era that try to suck your blood through layers of aloe vera. Between the burns and bites, you'd think at least it can't get worse. But then you find, at last, a dinosaur. No way. It's just a squirrel. But I still dream of dinosaurs, their tails, their bulbous heads. And when I dream of them, I stay tucked snugly in my bed. Yes, I still dream of dinosaurs, their tails, their bulbous heads. When I dream of them, I stay tucked snugly in my bed.
Wasn't that great? That was Blake Thomas and Deborah Berger, and I want to see more. That was really good singing and great lyrics. So that just gives you a taste of what you'll be seeing at the Fringe, and you'll have a couple more tastes too. Now, an average visitor sees 3 different shows. Is that right?
At least, yep.
At least 3 shows. And now, there's something on the website that's called My Fringe 5. What is that?
It's a super fun thing we're doing this year for the first time. It lets everybody have a chance to pick 5 shows that they're excited about. And it can be shows where it's a group they've seen before and are excited to see their next show, or it could be a type of show they're curious about or a genre they're very fond of. And then the recommendations gets posted on the website for everyone else to see.
Oh, so I could sort of be my own reviewer of 5 shows that I wanted to give some publicity or something like
Exactly.
that. Now, the website is beyond belief. It's really good. So
Thank you.
What all can you find out now?
The website is a really, really great place because we're very conscious that with a lot of shows, it's hard to figure out what you're going to see. So you can go to the website, and there are show descriptions and pictures from a lot of the shows. We have video trailers, so you can often get a video taste of what the show's like. There are cast lists. You can sort by genres if you're looking for a comedy or a drama or something with GLBT themes or political themes. You can sort by all those things.
So more than just, now I noticed that there are like 4 different kinds of things. There's comedy and drama and something else.
Musical theater.
Something different in musical theater.
And then dance. Those
And
are the 5
dance too.
categories.
So there are five different things. And the nice thing is that it also tells which ones are family friendly too, doesn't it?
Yes. Yep.
And there are some that are for kids,
There are a
aren't
bunch,
there?
yeah. The content in the festival is uncensored, so it's anything goes.
But you have to tell people, don't you?
Right, exactly. So for us, it's important to have the artists tell us what's in the show, to let us warn the audience both age appropriateness and if there's language or nudity, and then everyone can make an informed decision on what kind of work they're looking for.
Now, since there are so many venues, are they all accessible?
For wheelchairs, yes.
That's good. So
Yep.
that will work out. That's nice for people to know that too.
Yeah.
Well, now we're coming up to our second act now, and this is the Grimmer Side: Classic Stories for a Modern Time. And Katie Knudsen will be our performer here, and she has written this little description. Before Disney defiled our fairy tales, adults would gather to tell these metaphorical stories of vengeance, love, murder, passion, and longing. What happened while Sleeping Beauty slept? What is your poison apple? So let's watch Katie and find out.
When she fell asleep, she laid in that bed, waiting for someone, anyone, to come and wake her up. As a little girl, I knew the story. And I knew that her prince would come walking in, pull back the curtains, and wake her with a single kiss. They would fall in love, and he would carry her off to a better life. That's what I dreamed of. But then I got older and I started to find other versions of that same story. One where the prince was still there, but she didn't wake up because of him. She woke up simply because the 100-year curse was done. And it was just a happy coincidence that a handsome prince was sitting right next to her. And then I found an old version. This one was markedly different. Instead of a prince, it was a king who came into the room, and rather than kissing her, he had his way with her. And that didn't wake her up. Then she gave birth to twins. And still that did not wake her up. It wasn't until one of those babies was crawling up her body looking to nurse that it came to her finger and sucked out the flax. This broke the spell, and she awoke. I was sitting at my computer, at my kitchen table, waiting for the verdict. It had been all over Facebook, all over Twitter. These boys, these high school football stars who were accused of rape. There was even a blog I'd found about it where a high school teacher who taught current events had talked to her class. And as I read her words, I could picture the whole scene. She stood at the front of the room, wiping her hands on her pants, hoping the students wouldn't hear the quiver in her voice. As she asked them question after question, a boy raised his hand and said, "No, it wasn't rape. Okay, she was passed out drunk. It was her fault for getting so drunk." Another boy raised his hand and said, "Yeah, it was definitely not rape. She never said no. You have to say no if it's rape." Then a girl raised her hand and said, "Wait, she was drunk. She couldn't say no. She was passed out. She didn't get to say yes." And then another boy raised his hand and said, "Wait, are you saying that girls actually have to say yes?" The teacher's hands slammed down on the desk in front of her, and she said, Of course they have to say yes." And as I sat there on my computer, it wasn't about those boys in Steubenville anymore, because I didn't get to say yes. I didn't say no either. It didn't seem like it was safe to do so at the time. Instead, I pushed his hands away. I forced my legs together, and he pried them apart. Again and again, until finally I gave up and just laid there on that bed, waiting for it to be done. I was on my computer, and it popped up on the NPR website, guilty. What those boys did was not only wrong, but it was illegal. And it wasn't her fault. In that moment, Sleeping Beauty and I, we both woke up.
Well, as you can see, not all the Fringe shows are the same, and that's one of the wonderful things about it. There's such a great variety, and again, you can find out by going on the website. You can get a description of what the play is, and also whether it's a drama or a comedy or musical or so on, so that can help you to decide what kind of performance you want to see. Now, I know that you can also talk to the actors, and you've got some little visual aids.
I do. One of the fun things about Fringe is it kind of is a great place to break down Minnesotans' kind of traditional hesitance to talk to strangers.
Yes.
And so what we do at Fringe is new this year. We've got two different ways to help you have an icebreaker with strangers. So all of the Fringe artists this year will have lanyards, like these blue lanyards, they Fringe artist. And so if you see someone in the lobby with a lanyard, that gives you a conversational opener to ask them about their show.
Great, great.
And then the Fringe fanatics, so the people who buy the all-you-can-eat passes, and so they'll all be wearing orange lanyards. And these are folks who will see 20 or 30 or 40 shows and would be happy to talk to audience members.
And that is a great thing, because I've done both, although, as you say, I'm a Minnesotan, so it's hard for me to do that. But it is great because the people who are fanatics, you can sort of tell because they know what they're doing. And they are only too eager to tell you what they just saw that they
Which
really
is so
liked.
much fun, yeah. And at Fringe, because there are so many more shows than you can see, it becomes really important and almost competitive to identify the right ones to see.
Yep, and then I know that sometimes the actors go to other ones too, just to sort of say, come and see mine tomorrow night.
They hand
for
out
their
postcards.
Own show, so that's really good too. But and I know that the postcards are out on the table usually for the different shows, so everybody gets to make their own postcard, is that right?
Yep.
And then it just describes in their shows, and those are also actually this year online.
Yep, so in the venues all have a postcard table for physical postcards, but what we do online is we have a virtual postcard table so the ads rotate as postcard shaped presentations on the website.
Well, now we're ready for our last act tonight, and that is called The Forger's Apprentice, and this one is also a drama. And it says, vicious agents, hapless buyers, conniving dealers, international art forger Elmire de Horny has a Kafka meets Marx Brothers life that is coming unwound. Now, can his young Minnesota protege help him hold it together? And our cast members for this are John Olive and Jason Garten, so welcome them.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Is everything okay?
Is this what it's all about? Money? Having your life in the hands of someone else? What was my crime? Trying to survive the best way that I knew how? And my art? What I got for it was a token. All the big money was made by the dealers and the people who resold them. And Negro. If I hadn't let him sleep on my sofa, maybe none of this would have ever happened. Is this my reward for a random act of kindness?
Listen to me. You need only to look back the last 4 weeks. You had the most important exhibition of your life in Madrid. The whole city came. Members of the Spanish royal family came to pay homage to you. Do you remember when you said I needed to learn something about court etiquette? You said, Mark, when you are introduced to a woman, you should bend gracefully from the waist and pretend to kiss her hand. The night of your Madrid exhibition, I needed that finishing school education with all of those titled women dripping with jewelry and the men who smelled like fresh money.
I remember when I first tried to teach you, you looked like you were bobbing for apples. Oh, most excellent.
It's all because of you. So listen to me. Everything's going to be fine. You have nothing to worry about. Do you know what I would like more than anything right now?
What?
I would like you to make good on your promise. Don't you remember? You said you'd paint my portrait.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry I've been so distracted. All right, then. Yeah. Sit down there.
You used to be so secretive about this room. You'd never let me see it unless I was modeling for you.
All right, now. I was reading in Time magazine yesterday that someone paid more than $1 million for a painting by Jackson Pollock. How can people be so stupid to pay that for something that looked like a two-dimensional food fight? I don't get it. What are people clamoring for? Paint dribblings, this visual anarchy, talk about pretentious nonsense. Don't people understand that these values are contrived by the dealers? It's commercial hucksterisms. It's more about gamesmanship than talent. There's so much artifice in the art world. And it's not just because of me. I'm not sure anymore what's real or what's not. If I'm the bad guy here, at least my work is recognizable. Really, why would anyone prefer a bad original to a good fake, huh?
Well, it's different now. Now look at all the people who are coming to your door. And they're not the police. The people are recognizing you for your true talent. Okay, so it's been a long time coming, but you are having your renaissance now. Some people may not have forgiven you for your trespasses, but remember what Jesus said about casting the first stone. So, screw 'em. Okay, well, he didn't say that last part, but I agree with you on that. You know, Elmira, when I couldn't find you this morning, I thought... Did you get any sleep last night?
I was dreaming of Paris after the war when I sold my first Picasso. You know, I never felt good about deceiving anyone. I always wanted to sell my own work. It's just that when I realized I could make something that would take 20 minutes to create and it would provide my livelihood for the next few months, well, I'd like to see the poor refugee who could resist that temptation, huh? It was a choice I made. But for most of my life, it looked like it was the only option I had to survive. Maybe the faking was wrong, but what was the difference between my art and the others? What, a fashionable signature? You tell me what kind of amount we would get for a Jackson Pollock if his signature wasn't attached. There's the acid test. Would they praise his work then?
Well, another good act, for sure. And Robin said it's based on a true story, and that there really was a Minnesotan involved. So it'll be fun to go and see the whole thing now. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about the variety of venues, and you said that 2 of these folks are going to perform at the Rarig.
Yep.
And there are 3 different venues there, aren't there, Rarig?
Yep, there's a proscenium theater, a thrust theater, and then a small black box experimental theater.
And see, I recommend going there because you've got so many to choose from.
Yeah,
You
it's convenient.
can go there and you get actually 9 plays in 3 hours, more or less.
Yep.
Yeah, which is really good. And there's a parking ramp nearby.
There's a parking ramp, super convenient.
Always a good thing. Well, tell me this now. I know you can volunteer.
Yes, we love volunteers.
And how would you volunteer if you wanted to?
To sign up, you just go to the website, which is fringefestival.org/volunteer. And you can sign up, and we have volunteers who run our box office operations and do artwork as ushers and tear tickets and hand out programs. So it's reasonably easy, and every time you volunteer for a show, you earn a free ticket to another show.
Great.
It's a great
and so
way
you
to
don't
see
have
stuff.
to have any experience. You can
Zero.
You can just come and I noticed on the website it said something about group volunteers.
It's a really fun way to just come with a bunch of friends, and you can all work in the same area.
Oh, wow.
And just kind of hang out together, and then you all earn free tickets to then go use together later.
So you could go to the same venue then and all
Yep.
usher at the same venue.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, now I know that Minnesota is kind of, I think at least, that we're kind of an outstanding fringe.
We are. I think so, yes.
And how many years has it been going on?
This is our 20th anniversary, which we're really excited about this year.
Wow, 20 years.
Yeah.
And how did it start out? Were there like about 5 acts or something
It
like
was
that?
small, but bigger than that. It started out as 6 venues.
Really?
And I think there were 50 acts the first year.
Wow.
So yeah, it was an ambitious beginning.
Now, had it ever been done in the States before?
There's a fringe that's 1 year older in Orlando and a fringe that's 1 year older in San Francisco.
Wow.
But it was definitely one of the first in the U.S.
And it started in Scotland, didn't it?
Yep, in 1947.
And I suppose it meant, I'm assuming that it meant art on the fringe.
It was kind of fun. There used to be, and there still is, an Edinburgh Festival, which is a big international fancy performance festival. And there were a group of artists, theater artists, who wanted to be in it and hadn't been invited to be in it. So they decided, the heck with that. We're going to make our own festival on the fringes of the main festival.
Okay. So that's what it is.
That's where it
now,
came from.
How is it now? Now, I remember that a couple of your times I've met people from other places who've been in our fringe.
Yep. What's fun is, so of the 176 shows we have this year, 25 are coming in from across the country, and we've got another 9 who are coming in from all across the state. Of Minnesota.
Wow. So now, and how does it happen? Now, I know that we have a unique system, well, maybe not unique, but we have our own system of choosing acts.
It's completely random. It's fantastic. Absolutely anybody can apply. You don't have to have a show. You don't have to have a script. You just have to have the desire to do a show. And we get the applications. We had 421 this year.
Wow.
Everyone who applies gets assigned a number. The numbers go on ping pong balls. Ping pong balls go in a bingo cage. We have a big giant public party with a lot of beer and a lot of fun. And we just select the acts out of the ping pong balls.
So this means that Meryl Streep could lose out of her ping pong ball weren't chosen.
Yep.
So it's totally random.
It is, and that's kind of fun. It's the only place in the state where anybody has the chance to do a show and be supported professionally, no matter who you are, what your experience is, what your connections are, what your talent even is.
Now, now I know that they receive a pay based on how many people see their show.
Yep, the artists are given back 65% of their gross box office receipts.
So almost all of them will be worth their time,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yep.
In addition, well, I know that there's another sad thing that's happening as far as we're concerned, and that is that you are moving on.
This is my last festival year, yeah.
Wow. So what stands out as the highlight of your time?
Man, I don't know. There have been so many moments where I've seen someone who didn't believe they could be an artist get up on the stage and discover that all you need to do is just get up on stage and say you're an artist. And that, lo and behold, you are. And people will come, and just watching so many people develop that talent and that comfort and that self-confidence.
Well, you have done
great.
a great thing. I mean, I did check it out beforehand. A 23% increase in attendance during your tenure.
Yes.
And a 34% increase in profits to the players.
It has been a really fun run. It's been
Which
a good
is really good. Do you have any specific plans?
I don't have a clue what I'm going to do
Catching up on your
next.
sleep, perhaps.
My sleep will be nice. Some reading, some baseball. I'll get back into baseball. Will be fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of being in the audience of the festival and kind of enjoying it from that perspective.
Now, do we have a replacement, so to speak?
We do. His name is Jeff Larson. He's been the associate director for the last 2 years. He's going to be fantastic. He's actually worked with the festival in a bunch of different capacities since 1999.
Wow, so he's
got a million years of experience.
Oh, that's great.
And he'll be terrific.
So he's going to be starting after the festival, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the two of us will overlap a little bit during this year's festival, then I'll hand it off to him in August.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Well, we have so enjoyed having you with us these many years. And you've brought such great people. And I think what you've done, I love, is that you've brought such a variety. It really does give us a flavor of what the Fringe is like.
That's the goal. We just have so many different kinds of work. And so the goal, it's always hard to figure out a group of shows to bring to you that kind of represent the wide range.
You've done a great job. Well, you can see, as from what you saw tonight, that there is truly something for everyone. Go online. At the end of the show, we'll have the website. It's just www.fringefestival.org, and you can find out so much about each play and find out something that will appeal to you and your family. So I hope you take advantage of the Fringe August 1st to 13th. It's a great thing to do, and it's so much fun in the summertime. This is Joan Higginbotham for the League of Women Voters saying thanks for tuning in to We the People, and we hope you'll join us again. Good night.